Good morning, brothers. Three snapper and half a dozen kahawai. Not a big snapper, but snapper that are legal that we can eat. Within the realms of physics, you can have pretty much whatever you want, but you're going to have to work for it. A lot of us give up along the way. I've given up myself sometimes, and think it's not possible to achieve what we're trying to get so much in our lives, whatever it is, whether it's a relationship with somebody, whether it's money, whether it's good health. But just like those snapper, I'm going to tell you a story about catching those in a minute. It requires a mindset that I will get it. Excuse me while I just have my coffee. Oh man, first coffee of the morning. So yesterday, I took it upon myself to take my kayak out to sea and catch snapper. I haven't caught snapper this season. I've been chasing after rig and kahawai. And I did a video with you yesterday and talked about important message for young men. And that's my truck out there still with the kayak on the roof. And the reason it's still on the roof is I got home very late after my fishing. So I went out with really good intentions and I thought this is going to be pretty easy. It's a beautiful day, the weather was perfect, conditions were perfect, everybody's catching fish. It shouldn't take me long to catch a snapper. Paddled out there all full of enthusiasm. The water was just absolutely pristine calm. There I was, first time on the kayak in a long time. Had my ice, my two rods, my enthusiasm, started paddling. And I started paddling and there was a boat out in front of me and I thought, well, I don't want to go where these guys have been fishing the whole time because they may have scared the area a little bit. And I paddled out there and it took me about an hour to get out there. It's quite far out. But their wake was there and I thought, no, I better go further. So I paddled probably for another half hour, so about an hour and a half. A good 6 or 7 kilometres offshore, I think it would have been. Maybe not, I don't know, I didn't measure. It felt like a long way off and it took a long time to get out there. Probably around that in the end because I actually went a bit further. Dropped the anchor and started to fish. I put my burley out and waited for the bites to start happening. And waited and waited and waited. And I was thinking, this is strange. Normally I'd expect something by now, and this time of the year there's fish out there and nothing's happening. Oh well, kept on fishing and then I realised, gee, it's been like 2 hours and no bites, not even a kahawai. Maybe I better change what I'm using. So I was using slow jigs and I had a burley out and then I went to bait, nothing. I fished for 5 hours and caught nothing. And in that time, the sun came down and I got actually burned. I'll show you my legs. Warning, horrible sight ahead. I don't know if you can see, but it shows up, but my legs are actually burnt. I burnt my whole front of both my legs because I was sitting so long and I hadn't prepared to be out in the water for that long. And I knew I was getting burnt, so I took a shirt off and I covered them up, but it was too late. I was already burnt. It was one of those days where the clouds were really, really low. And you couldn't tell that it was actually hot. And actually, I was actually quite cold out there. But the sun was burning me through the clouds and I paid the price for that. So 5 hours went past and I'd caught nothing. And I don't expect to be out there for a couple of hours. I was tired, I was wet. I was past my eating time. It was already I went out at 9 and it was 3 o'clock and I still hadn't caught anything. So I'd been a long time in the kayak and I'd done a lot of paddling to different places and I was just absolutely just bugging. And I was thinking, there's no way I'm going in without a feed of fish. I have worked so hard to be out here, and it's a time thing. Sooner or later, a school will go past me. Well, I changed over to bait again. I was alternating what I was using, and I went to bait, and then suddenly I got a hit from a kahawai. Great. It wasn't a big one, but I thought I've come all this way out here, not for kahawai, I've come out of a snapper. I can catch kahawai off the beach or back up on the inlet in Mapua, so a little bit disappointed. Kept on fishing and I got 4 more kahawai. I kept those, and when I was just about thinking I'm going to be out here till dark and I'm not going to come in until I've got a fish, I get hit by a snapper. Not a big one, probably would have been a 25, 26. 25 is the legal limit here, and I thought, oh, I can do better than that, and I released it. So I released my first snapper, but was feeling more confident and more excited that they're out there. And then as time went by, they started to hit me. Didn't catch any monsters. I think they were all around about 28 to 30 centimetre. But point being is I released probably 4 or 5 and I kept 3 of good size for eating for me. And I paddled and it was 5 o'clock when I got back to the beach. I was exhausted. I was sunburned. I was windblown. I was hungry. I was cold. And I was absolutely stoked that I had achieved my objective. The moral of the story is you pretty much can have whatever you want within the physics of what's possibly physical, even if you're a small person. But you have to have a mindset that I'm going to get it, regardless of what challenges come at me. It doesn't matter what it is. You may come across negative resistance from other people saying you can't do that, or you may come across nature saying you can't do that. And what you've got to say back to nature and those people is, you just watch me and keep on going. And this also applies to surviving when you're really sick. If you're really, really sick and you feel like you're going to die, you just watch me beat this, mate. I'm not ready to go yet. Or you may go, okay, I'm ready to go yet, and let go to death. But when you go through your life, you are going to always encounter resistance. And some people just roll over and they give up. And some people fight. You've got to be a fighter if you want to achieve your objectives. You've got to fight. It doesn't come easy. Nothing comes easy. Well, actually, that's not quite true. Some people just seem to always fall on their feet, don't they? But you don't know their story behind them. And you don't know what really struggles that they have. So it appears they fall on their feet, but you don't know. I've had people write to me and tell me, you're spoilt, Clay. You get too much. It always guts me when I hear that, and I think, well, it doesn't gut me what they think about me. It guts me that they don't understand that their whole life is going to be with nothing. They're always going to have nothing. They're going to struggle, and they're always going to feel they've got nothing because they don't see the work that's required to achieve an objective, whatever it is. They're always going to be, the glass is half empty, and their whole entire life they're never going to get ahead. And those people, I feel for them because they think that I'm spoiled. Geez, if they saw my life, how I started off, holy shit. Yeah, so there's got to be, for you, this mindset that I will, and I'll keep going till I do, rather than, I wish I could, or I hope I do, or maybe I might. You've got to visualize yourself achieving your goal. It could be any number of things outside of what I've talked about. It could be simply that you want to become better at your work. It could be simply you want to become better as a father to your children, or simply that you want to become a better partner to your partner. It could be simply that you want to have better health than you have right now. It could be simply that you want a better body than you've got right now. It could be that you might just want to be able to sleep better each night than you're currently sleeping. It may be that you've got a world of pain and you're trying to decrease that and find a way. Everything has a path, and the path to getting there will lead you there, but sometimes that path is narrow and windy and difficult, but you've got to keep on going down it until you find it. And if you come to a dead end, and you've got to backtrack and take the next path. It's hard work. You have to endure. You have to suffer to get there, but that is the nature of being able to achieve your objective. I walk around my piece of land up here and I still pinch myself and think, do I really own this? Did all that work really bring this to me? It didn't just get handed me on a plate. Nothing ever got handed to me on a plate. It was just like, really? Did this? And when I look back, I'm 56 years of age and I've worked my entire life since I was a kid. Some people get there much faster because money is their goal. Money was never my goal. If money was my goal, I would have stayed in the job I was doing when I was working as a representative for a company I was working for. That was good money. I always wanted to be my own boss. And I'm going to talk about that in my next video, about you being your own boss. I didn't become a YouTuber or a musician to be famous or to make money. I did it because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. I was about playing a gig one night over in Frankfurt, and this guy gave me 50 Deutschmarks. I was like, holy shit, 50 Deutschmarks. That was an amazing amount of money back then. It's like 50 New Zealand dollars. But I'm doing what I wanted to do. I'm being my own boss. But I want to do a separate video about being your own boss and you being the not just the boss of your work and your profession, but your entire life, because I think it's a valid topic. Right, the coffee's getting cold. I've only had one sip. I'm going to tear into this, fillet those fish, or actually not going to fillet them, I'm going to scale them and gut them because they're still on ice, so I didn't even gut them, and get on with my day with dogs and all the stuff around here. I've got a pile of work building up. Just wanted to smash out a bro check club video for you guys. Check on a brother today, check on yourself, and we'll catch you in the next one. Go steady. See you later.